Hello and welcome to another episode of Industry Celebrities. My name is Kimberly Scott, former video girl, now podcast rookie. Industry Celebrities is a podcast where I interview professionals in all sorts of industries, asking questions about their passions or industry, which makes them all a little celebrity to me. If you want to be on Industry Celebrities and share your knowledge, please email me at kimberly@marketingdoer.com. And you can go to all my social media channels that will be shown at the end of this video or within the description on how to listen to more episodes. And I'd like to welcome Miss Leah Christian.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, thank you. So we have this rigged, kind of, sort of, and we're on a time limit because of the flashing light over there. But that's all right. We're going to roll with this. So Leah, tell us where you're from and a little bit about your industry and how you got started.
So I am from Natchitoches, Louisiana.
Natchitoches.
Yes.
Not Nacogdoches, people.
Natchitoches.
Okay.
Natchitoches. And actually all of my family still lives there. So my parents still live in the house that we grew up in.
Awesome. So give me the background of the history on Natchitoches or Nacogdoches.
So apparently there were two Indian brothers, Natchitoches and Nacogdoches. And the daddy said, walk equal paces away from the border and claim your land.
Pick your land.
Pick your land. And so and they are equal distances from the border.
Wow. So Natchitoches, Louisiana, and Nacogdoches, Texas.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. A little history there on Industry Celebrities. That's awesome. Yeah. I like it.
You just never know what you're going to get on Kimberly's podcast.
This is very true. Tell us, how did you get your start then? Like, so you're from there. How'd you end up in Texas then?
Well, there wasn't much opportunity in Louisiana after college.
Natchitoches.
Yeah, in Little Natchitoches. There wasn't much there. So, and I had an advertising degree. No, after college, I actually moved to Houston looking for a job specifically. So while I was there, I printed out resumes, went door to door, and sent my resume in, dropped my resume off, and I ended up also inquiring or looking into the Art Institute. And so there, I actually met someone who said, there's a job that you would be perfect for.
Knew someone else in the apartment business?
Knew somebody else in the apartment industry.
Wow.
So look, when I started in the industry, I had no idea what traffic was.
And we don't mean speeding,
yes,
right?
I mean, there was not a plethora of apartments in Natchitoches. So
yeah.
Anyway,
so you're like, why not?
Why not? So I went in and I interviewed with another lifelonger in the industry, Dwayne Capodice, and he was with For Rent at that time. And after an hour conversation, I had a job and started that following Monday.
Wow.
So
that's good. And ever since, you've been in ever since?
Ever since. I tried once to leave the industry.
Tried.
Yes. Well, and it didn't last that long. So I was out of the industry for a couple of years. I went, and it was actually when I left Seattle. I had moved with For Rent and from Houston to Wisconsin to Dallas to Seattle, and then
wow,
yeah,
that's how you move your way up as you go wherever they need you,
yes,
right?
Exactly. So, but at that point in time, when I was living in Seattle, I started having nieces and nephews, and I was a little too far away, and I didn't want them to grow up not knowing their aunt.
Yeah.
So I decided to leave the industry and move to Dallas, and I actually was an advertising director, a sales director for the Alternative Weekly here. Until my old buddy Dwayne Capodice called me.
Come on back.
Yep. And said, we need you back here. So I went back to For Rent and worked there for another 4 years, running the market in Dallas.
So where do you work now?
I work with Maintenance Supply Headquarters.
Oh, okay. Still in the apartment business, but that is not advertising. That would be called supplies.
Yes.
Yes. That's very different.
Very. Yeah.
But so, like, how did that transition happen? Or,
you know, the funny thing is that there's so many similarities there. Mm-hmm. Product completely different.
Yes.
However, it's still very solution based. So,
and that's what you enjoy doing.
That's what I enjoy doing. I like working with my clients to help create solutions for whatever challenges that they may have.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, so that's the positives, definitely, mm-hmm. of being in your industry, that you can move from a totally different product of advertising or service, you say, and then go into selling supplies.
Yeah.
But if you're good at what you do, great customer service, consultative. That's the word I'm looking for. And you definitely have a good, and you have a great reputation.
Thank you.
But you can definitely move up and bigger and better heights when you are in the apartment business. So that's a plus for sure.
Yes. It's amazing the opportunity that's out there.
Well, yes. What do you like most about being in the apartment industry?
It's every day is completely different. It is ever evolving. It is ever changing. There's always new trends. It's never the same. So it's an environment to where there's constant learning, and constant adapting.
Oh yeah, because we are a little bit behind, so we gotta get caught up all the time.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. But those are the things that I find most exciting about it.
So how many years now have you been in the industry?
Let's 20 some odd years.
Because you started when you were 10.
Exactly.
Yes. So it's 20 plus years. We won't say exactly when, because then that might give away your age, which you are look beautiful for 29. I mean, look.
Thanks.
Stunning.
The only hint I will give is that it was dial-up internet access at that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
So. I don't remember. Oh, well, no, I do remember dial-up, but I don't think I was actively doing anything with like technology and computers until a little bit later. Interesting. So, but you did not look for your job via the internet.
No, I circled the classifieds.
That's good to know. What it was like.
Yeah.
Before LinkedIn, circling the classifieds. Interesting. Do you have any tips for those wanting to get into the apartment industry, no matter what, whether it's on the management or supplier side?
I would say there's so much opportunity out there. There's so many things. And as we touched on earlier, that it's an ever-evolving industry. There's new areas and new positions being created, along with the positions that are already there changing
and growing.
Yeah. So the tips that I would say is be patient. Look for companies that you really want to go and work for. You like their philosophy, you like their culture.
Yes.
And a company that you feel like fits your style, what your needs and your professional growth
goals are.
Yeah, exactly. So find those companies and learn and grow with that company.
Yeah, I tell that to my nieces and my nephews that are looking for jobs. Like, well, one, I tell them, get a LinkedIn profile first, and they're like, what? And then be seen. Tell them, like, other than on their other social media, avenues, and two, follow those companies on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And get educated on those companies if there's a company that you want to work for. I had a friend, he's recently looking for a job, and he said, oh my gosh, LinkedIn is great. I'm so glad you told me that I should get a profile. I didn't, because he was just doing Indeed and like other recruitment sites, and he just was he set up his profile, then didn't go back to it for a month, and then went back to it and had all these recruiters asking him to send in the resume, and he was like, wow.
Yes, you can't be seen if you're not there.
Correct.
But one of the other things I would add to that too is once you do find that career, once you do find that company that you do want to learn and grow with, get involved in the apartment industry, because that is a way to keep a pulse on everything that's happening, whether
Absolutely.
it is whether it's legislatively, whether it is trends, anything. But it definitely keeps a thumb on exactly what's happening in the industry and keeps you abreast of that.
And you get to meet so many more people than if you weren't. Like, I can't tell you how many times that when people ask me and I tell them, like, you have to get involved. They have, you meet people at association, you meet the right people at association, industry meetings, events, you name it, and suppliers too. They introduce you to other people, because that's how we met way back in the day when we were only 20 something.
Yes, exactly.
And you were pregnant with your first child, and you had really short hair. Yeah, that's definitely so. And then you become lifelong friends.
Yes.
You stay connected no matter what job, what company that you go and work for.
Right.
You definitely stay connected.
You have that commonality.
Yes.
So
absolutely. Okay, so my one standing question that I ask everybody, and we still have time before the red light stops blinking, is what would you tell your younger self? So think, it has to be somewhat short, but like really...
Listen more, be patient, and never stop learning.
Listen more, be patient, and never stop learning. I'm definitely working on the patient side, but I definitely got better at listening as I got older. And the learning part in the last 2 years, I've definitely had to, and if I had just been like learning along with them, or, you know, taking the time to let them teach me, because they would teach me, but, or want to teach me, and I didn't necessarily take the time. There were a few things I did. So social media I did, but camera work and audio work, didn't do that. Equipment, just signed the check. Didn't necessarily like pay attention to, I should know exactly what this does. So I 100% agree with that from the aspect constantly. You can learn everything on the internet now.
You can, and I think the thing is, and why I would tell my younger self about making sure that you continuously learn and you're always learning, don't learn just a little bit. Learn as much as you can, because you establish an opinion based on all of the information, all of the facts, as opposed to just a little bit.
Yes.
So
I would agree with that.
Always educate yourself. Always continue. You can always learn more.
Always Google it, more than multiple sites, and maybe even pick up a book from time to time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Good old books.
Yes.
Your kids like to read like hard copy books or electronic books?
Both actually. So
what do you prefer?
I actually have learned that I do better with audiobooks.
Oh, I do too. Yes. I wish they'd have been around when we were in our 20s
too. Yes, I wish they would have been, just because I'm always doing something active that I don't really have the opportunity to sit down in front of a book.
Yes.
So once I find those times, whether I'm driving, whether I'm on a plane, whatever it may be, that gives me an opportunity to have a book. And I like historical fiction, and I like motivational books as well. But those are the two that and that's how I get my intake of books is through Audible. And my kids like both. So they like to read their books, but they also like, there's an app for them, which is Epic, and they can go through and find certain books and listen to it. So sometimes later at night when they're a little tired,
they listen to an audiobook. That's Epic. Oh, good to know. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day to visit with me today and help me hone my interview skills and hopefully my audio skills. Keeping my fingers crossed. And I want to thank everyone for joining me as well today. Thank you to the listeners tuning in and supporting me by listening. And also go ahead and hit that subscribe button, pretty please. And remember to search Kimberly D. Scott so you can subscribe either to my YouTube channel, iTunes, Anchor for Android users, Google Play. There are a lot of places for podcasts. And then you can follow me on Facebook, Insta, Snapchat, and LinkedIn. And until next week, stay positive and keep growing. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me.